It's always more than I deserve, that I'd leave too if I had the nerve. But I'm just asking for you to stay. Oh, I'm just asking for you to stay.
Just not him.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Lotus Fire Showroom. My name is Pyres Metaverse and we are live today with a functional mic and the deep, dark question of if Seto Kaiba was really the better duelist, why did he feel the need to go around and rip up other Blue Eyes White Dragons?
Because he wanted his to be the only one.
So he was afraid he would lose to another one.
Well, yeah.
So he's not that good of a duelist. My point is made, ladies and gentlemen. I rest my case. He also spends the entire anime losing to Yugi like non-stop.
Yeah, because Yugi is the best duelist. He just doesn't claim to
Well,
be.
there's some people out there acting that he's not the best because he cheats.
Yugi?
Mhm.
How does he cheat?
He does kind of break the rules every now and then, but not when they make the rules a little more,
Lucid?
yeah. So why are we here again?
Wife must obey her husband. My son, what a good wife who does what she's told.
Don't like that.
Her only fault is she's too slow at doing things.
Don't like that.
I don't like it. Young wife, since I'm so slow at doing things, every time I try to do something, my mother-in-law yells at me.
Oh, don't like that.
I'm doing my best, you know.
All the islands are controlled by the Great King Tiberius of Tarazzi. Why doesn't the Great King do something about all the chaos in our town?
Can you hold this further?
What?
This further. Ah, that's better.
No, murder chair's back. Oh!
You know I don't like the chair how you have it set up.
You mean the way it's supposed to?
I mean, it can also go this way.
No, you just have it all loosey-goosey and not locking and almost killing people.
It's just because you don't know how to sit.
You mean I have to engage my core just to sit in an ergonomic chair? Nah.
No. You want to be sitting upwards. I don't.
Because if I sit in that chair when you have it like that, no, if I relax at all, I fall backwards. It's that simple.
It's supposed to lean backwards.
No, it doesn't lean backwards. It
Falls?
Yes.
Oh. Hey, wait a sec. The guards are ahead of us. Oh, wait, this is a guy.
I don't think we could go in from the front. Then why don't we force our way in? No way, man. If we do that, it'll be total and utter chaos. Well, what do we do? Do you have a plan? Absolutely. Let's go down to the pier. The pier.
What's there?
You'll find out when we get there, baby.
Whoa, I don't like that.
Oh, classic. He's just like that blonde guy from Tales from the Sky.
What about redhead?
Zellos.
Yeah.
This doesn't look like a pier.
Nope. Oh, you're one of the ones who helped us. My son is fine. I don't know how to repay you. I'd like to give you a token of my gratitude. Which one?
I know, well, let's take it, I guess.
Pardon? One?
Let's take it, I guess.
My, you're so honest.
Whoa, a charm bottle?
I'll be forever indebted to you.
No way.
There we go.
Is the child's music on?
Should be. Yeah.
my wife told me all about you. Please make yourself at home.
I love how they're like, yeah, you helped us, so we're like totally gonna help you.
Hey, I'm not gonna forgive anyone who gives my mom a hard time. Oh, sorry, you're the guy who helped us.
Because you little rascal, gave your mom a hard time. Okay. Nothing else really to do here, but we did get a charm bottle out of
Got
it.
to go to the pier.
Trying to figure out
Kind of looks like a pier.
right? Isn't the pier where we found?
That's the pier. Hey, are they just playing tag? Dragon? There's a boat there.
Oh, really?
At the top left, there's a canoe.
Since the new Lord came, monsters began appearing in our waters.
No one said anything about that?
My husband can't fish, the taxes are going up, everything is going wrong.
And no one's mentioned anything about that?
Oh, yeah, that's I think the pier's over here.
Harbor sounds. Oh my god, a save point. I'm so fancy.
That's neat. It's a warehouse. I don't know why I bothered to check these rooms. There's never anything in them.
One of these days is gonna be like a whole legendary weapon.
Right? We're just gonna randomly find something. I'm a big fan of Master Fate.
Fate, I guess.
Fate? I can't imagine anyone else being our next lord. General store manager.
Okay. Trader Schmoes, by the way.
The hell is with all these
Unidentified
questions?
weapon.
No.
No, thank you.
Isn't my store good enough for you?
No.
No. Like, I'm sorry, but we can't read anything.
This ship belongs to the Moreau family. I'm mourning the death of Master Zeno. He was such a kind person. Oh, he was so much better than New Lord. Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of people don't like this new guy.
Yeah.
Something's weird lately. I mean, the whole town, even the whole country. I shouldn't say this, but it's been this way since the new Lord came into power. Oh, who knows what they'd do to me if they found out what I said. Never mind what I just said right now. Okay, buddy.
They say ships can't leave the harbor. What shall we do?
We want to go to Sheeden, but no ships go there right now. All ships are stranded at 3 ports. When will sea travel start up again?
Oh, I'm at the pier. What did you
This is a
want?
harbor, not a pier.
Oh, my bad.
I mean, I thought so. Maybe it'd be here, but...
It's hard for me to live in this town.
Then don't.
Hatter.
Hats can help you avoid sunstroke.
I don't have any of those.
Oh, I was gonna say a Mad Hatter joke, but the name of the story is...
It's Mad Hatter. Feather hat or the Estroven?
Well, why don't we give the feather hat... Oh, because it only applied to those 3? Give the feather hat to... Kel?
Then these 3 can have this.
Yeah. Buddy needs more equipment.
Yeah, that's part of why I'm looking. But I wasn't too keen on not knowing what we were giving him.
Yeah. Well, there were swords and stuff. There was no mandolin. He uses, He seems to exclusively use... Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Instruments.
Yeah.
That's good for him, though.
Oops. store and then the weapons store that
I
doesn't
think
tell
the
us.
little canoe is where we're meant to go.
Yeah, probably. But that's where we met him.
Well, yeah, so all the more reason we'll probably sneak into the... Yo, can we get a boat? So this is it? So is this it? Sure. Please make sure you rescue Master Fate. No problem, dude. It's under control.
Sorry, I was using that during my stream because I was cold. Ow! Ow!
I mean, ow.
You put it on top of my hair bun! It's trying so hard to survive.
What?
The red one. That bug.
I think it's dead.
Yeah?
It was curled up like something dead, and it don't be no moving.
That's good, because I saw it earlier today and it fell onto your blanket. Onto my blanket, actually.
Oh, and you didn't move it?
It moved on its own.
How dare you?
It fell. I wasn't sure if it was dead or not.
Oh, we can now organize the party in whoever order we want. Huh?
Yeah. I thought we already had it organized.
Well, I was playing one last night. Whoa, epic music. So far, so good. Where are we? This is the outer perimeter of Morrow Castle. We'll be fine once we get in. Why did I think she? You're back in charge once we're inside. So I'm currently playing Carol, which I do not want to do.
I play Stan anyways, so it's fine. Did you normally play her?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be playing Carol right now because she's in position of 3.
Oh, she's in position 2.
No, that's not the position that matters. Hang on, back out? Oh, we're back again.
Because I'm pretty sure when we had just her, she was like down below.
Go into the, don't know which way to check. Yeah, she knows it. Okay, good. It's like, I don't know if they change them in the equipment order, though. Yo, baby, we're here to help you.
Carol?
Leanna, how are you?
How did you get here?
Well, you know, from the outside.
Thank you for saving me.
What a goober.
So, who is she?
Here's a little surprise for you. She's the wife of the next Lord of Moreau.
The interior of this castle has been changed around quite a bit.
So only the outside remains the same. Man, their taste in interior design really sucks.
Kuro, please rescue him.
No problem. Just leave it to me. I'll rescue Fate. You just keep cool and stay out of sight. Finger gun, probably. Shall we go? Sure, let's get them. I feel like they should remake this game.
Yeah.
Was that a treasure chest?
If they remade this game, like imagine playing this game through you.
They would have to probably make a new game mechanic to make it palatable for modern audiences if they remastered it or remade it completely.
Well, even for the consoles.
Well, the graphical update, obviously, put it in 3D, put it as like... but it's like, if you're gonna make it 3D, they gotta make it something like Tales of Symphonia, but like every Tales game afterwards had its own special mechanic, right?
Yeah.
I guess in this case it was the Swordian. Nah, they could keep it like that. Yeah, okay, the Swordians are kind of the... It feels a little old of a mechanic. We can probably set some water. Down the stone, maybe? Okay.
I think that statue might have something to do with it.
I think it's the stones. The base of the bottom. Double cross chopping. Assassin from Fate Stay Night? Oh, Fate Zero, actually.
Oh, do we want him in our party?
Carol? He's kind of low level, I don't mind. The 3-hole short sword.
Oh, that's why I reminded him there was.
Yeah, if you try to go down the bricks there instead of like straight into the water, I think you can get there you go.
Ha! Thank you.
Green Gel? More Green Gel. Oh. Power Stone? No way! So it's an elemental. Yeah, it's something we don't want to do.
Like the crystals that were in the. Where that thing was.
Very specific. Whoa, more Green Gel.
Up or down?
Your choice, eh? You're player 1. Dude, a water wheel. Oh wait, they got technology here? So advanced. So wow. Nothing like our primitive, electric-based explosive collars, of course. I think we have to push a rock there. Or a log. Dude, they got bees now? No way, they got Killer Bee from Naruto? You know what's fun about playing Final Fantasy 14 every week? To get my raid gear?
What?
Every week I get to make the same stupid joke.
Yeah.
Who's your healer? It's Ruchi, right?
Yeah.
I get to make the same joke about Carib Dystopia.
Okay.
Because one of the mechanics is called, well, one of the attacks is called Carib Dystopia. So instead of just calling it Carib Dystopia and recognizing it, I go, "Ah, dude, we're getting attacked by you must be who Hermes mentioned." The monster. Well, actually, let's do this. At this point, we can eat a green gel or feed it to Carol and then pick
Yeah.
one up off the ground. Holy cannoli, there's so many. I don't know what else you do in combat before, though. I feel like he's a buff character, he's not doing anything. How? Hit rate? Okay, not really what I would go to buff the most.
Wow.
But
I think I'm going to take him out. No.
well, he's gonna learn stuff, right? So the more he
Yeah.
levels up, the better, but...
It's the only reason why we have him there, but I'm like, why are you here?
I mean, look, there's worse. He could be worse. He could be a magic card. Go pick up the green shell. Don't forget that Ruchi can just heal us in combat too.
Yes, but she also has limited TP
Which you get back up there, right?
in limited quantities.
Yeah, okay, because I really like the fire. You can also get a better healing spell soon, I would think. Whoa, more green gel!
Oh, I know.
Yeah!
Like,
Score
everything
B.
that I've gone into here has been a green gel.
There's one item that wasn't. Because, yeah, there was like 5 out of 4. 4 out of 5, sorry.
Oh yeah, the first item wasn't a green gel. Yeah, it was.
I think it's like the third or fourth. Because there were like 2 chest necklaces that they gave green gels in a bag.
Both bags had green gels.
Yeah.
And didn't the chest in her room have a green gel?
No, I don't think this chest in his room had green gel. But that would have been our first one, so I don't know.
2 bags had it, and then I saw 4 chests with it.
You're gonna need to heal your poison. My poison, actually. I'm purple! Hang on, it's a poison bottle now, I think? I don't think we have got another score.
Yeah, we just picked up score B.
Score B. Does anybody have the poison spell? Hang on, I want to see what the scores do all over here. We have 2 of them? Symphony. Very specific, very nice. And then...
Whitman.
What?
Probably for Carol.
Dude, give it to him. Oh, yeah. He might be able to do something.
Right? But I gotta give it the, okay, we haven't come to see a battle for that, right? Right?
Do we have a fantasy as well? There's 7 of them. That would work, but...
Equipment.
I would guess it's his accessories?
Maybe? Ah!
No, because if it's accessories, it won't automatically equip that way. No. So then maybe offhand? Not sure. Maybe it's not actually equipment. Unless it's a new weapon. No, they don't show up there.
But they're labeled as equipment. Score A, equipment.
Yeah, I know. I saw it too.
Score B, equipment.
Scored? No. Oh, go into his specials. He should already have it now.
Oh, okay.
We missed a bunch of sacred texts.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Symphony.
And Samba. Damages enemies. There we go. He can do damage now. So when we pick up a text or a score like that,
Yeah.
they automatically get the skill.
Okay.
Close the valve. No, there are only hope against Microsoft's PC control. Oh, now we can just go down. Hell yeah.
I want to check the other one first. Oh no, I should finish exploring this room before going back.
No, I think we rather the same. What are my 2 special that you bring? I love when they just all spawn on the same side.
Right?
Ice Wall!
Like, it's like it's so far back. Because it was in the air.
Yeah, get it. Excuse me!
Did he just go, yeah!
Yeah! That does not sound like a samba, by the way.
For real? For real? Because...
Yeah.
Oh no, not here. Oh, I could've
Yeah,
sworn
we have to go through there. We went. There's 2 doors there, so there's the one we go run in from the bottom one.
And then there was a door down here.
You can pick up that green girl.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's a couple of green doors back there.
He was also back at the top one. Yeah. God. Oh, there's nothing quite like an old PS1 game for voice acting.
I think it's hilarious that we're playing. Like, if we played this on the original PlayStation, we would not have had to worry about the analog sticks.
I haven't been using the analog sticks. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I don't use them too, but at the same time, I'm like, we could have just used the original PlayStation.
It chugs like hell when we try to play Final Fantasy 1 on it. In my experience, older consoles like read less fast, so you have more skip possibility. Now, this experience is entirely based off the fact that when I tried to play my original copy of Tales of Symphonia, there was always a skip. I've told this story before. There was always a problem right when Disc 2 started, which meant I had to go back and do the final cutscene of Disc 1 like 500 times because it would always skip at the beginning. But when I put it into our Wii instead, it worked just fine. It worked perfectly. I didn't have any issues.
Okay, so 2 of these are those.
Melon Jones?
Yeah.
Melon Jones, good. Melon ninja gets to do the job. So always better reading technology I'd go for initially. Like, we have the PS1 for the sheer basic collectiveness.
I like playing on the original console, which is where I was playing Final Fantasy VIII.
I don't see a problem with playing on the original consoles, except there's just no advantage to it, I guess. Like, no matter which way you cut it, there's always going to be, like, inferior something. Like, sometimes the controllers, which in this case not so much. I think the PS1 controllers are a little heavier, maybe, but... I mean, there's no analog stick, which...
Yeah, because I didn't get the ones with the analog stick.
Which is fine. Most PS1 games don't require those. Like, take the 64, for example. That's an awful controller in hindsight. It's really funny to hold, but, like... Halberd. I think that's for... The only person who's using freaking weapons that aren't Swordians right now. Yep.
Her and
Carol? Yeah, but Carol uses the instrument. I don't think she's gonna use it.
Hey, I was right. I did have to go around. I was like, I'm not going to explore this yet. I want to go and make sure that I didn't miss something.
Which is not first aid, it's better. Yeah, didn't someone just learn a spell? I think Yuji did. Yeah, she just learned it.
She would heal.
It recovers the one that neutralizes poison paralysis.
Ah, okay. I didn't think she had that yet.
I commented last time she had it, I think, because I was like, yeah, finally, we don't need bombs.
Not that we found.
And she's only at 261, which is fine. She's only used 20 overall, so.
Yeah.
I think she gets a lot back at the end of the fight because it's a percentage, right?
Yeah. Before I do that. Nope. I'm glad you like your mug.
I wanted it really badly. I mentioned it to a lot of people hoping I'm gonna get it.
Put it on the list. I'm like, I found this mug, and I was like, okay, like...
It's so funny.
Yeah, I sent it to him, and I was like, oh, he's gonna love this. That's on you, right?
I think it's on you or Rudy. It looks like it's on Rudy.
Yeah, I think we both have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shouldn't even get a chance to use it.
Sometimes it goes off at the end, but you should be able to use it out of combat.
Yeah. The lovebirds.
You just mentioned you were playing. Hey, Spike, how you doing?
Hey!
You just mentioned you played Final Fantasy VIII on this, and I'm like, how come you haven't realized
Not
circle?
on this one. I played it on the
It's the
original.
same control scheme.
No, it's
Circle
not.
to confirm, X to cancel.
No.
Yes.
When I played it was X to confirm.
You're wrong. It's actually because it pisses me off every time. You know why? Because Final Fantasy VII confirms with the X button. Why does Final Fantasy VIII confirm with the circle button?
We're a little quiet.
Oh man, I can't level up my audio more. Let's see if I
You
can
can
go
if
from
you-
here. Not this button. It's in this one.
There is a way to do it, but... Oh no, there's a way to do it in Streamlabs. It's just a little complicated.
I already maxed it out on the stream.
Okay, there's a way to make it higher.
Okay, Miss Who uses not streamlabs.
No, I
Output?
figured out how to
No.
use it before.
No way, my input's at max too. Okay, so I guess we're just being quiet. Maybe the mic's hidden.
Pull it out a little bit. I moved that because I knocked it. I almost...
Yeah, I always knock it over there, so.
I didn't knock it over, but I almost...
Monsieur Michael.
I almost used... I unplugged it by accident.
Mimi Pop Field here.
And I needed space.
Well, it sounded like I'm far away. It could just be mic input as well.
Yeah. Yeah, because when we were on the Discord, they were saying we sounded like we were far away.
Yeah, then we boosted our sound. We were fine.
Yeah.
They haven't complained in like 3 seconds, so we should be okay. I want to power Miss Hill.
I don't know why it says that.
Tiguranda, yo blade.
We haven't had issues with it before.
Well, we've had it sound like a little quiet as well. Is what it is.
We do have a splitter, but we realized that with our 2 headsets, it echoes. So we can't use the splitter, despite the fact that I got it working.
Which makes sense, I mean.
Well, I thought with your mic it wouldn't double us up.
No, but if it catches you on mine, it's still like on mine. Sorry, if you... I you know what I said.
Yeah. No, but it was echoing both of us. Both of our mics were echoing.
I'm not too surprised. Whoa!
Oh.
Faster, Anal!
Oh.
Oh, nice job!
Rudy, are you looking for gold again?
Yeah! Money!
So...
Your air filled with some frozen pork chops. Your air fryer? Oh, yeah.
Ah, nice.
I hear that's actually a decent idea. All things considered.
Yeah, they're actually really good, and they're better for you.
Green girl again. Orange and green.
Yep.
Start consuming him. I don't know why you're walking back and forth if you're not gonna use an item.
I didn't realize that I had already looked at the other one. Hey?
We just... orange. Oh, they don't look at it. Good lord.
It's because I keep accidentally using it.
He was like, I'm attacking. Yeah, in the wrong game, maybe.
I have to, I'll do this, and then I, physically will, briefly look at my fingers and then be like, oops, wrong one.
Why am I attacking the wrong thing? Why is my TP so low?
I'm not even looking at that.
It's convenient you have this excuse this time, because in other games you didn't.
Yeah.
Vesperia. That's like salty the other day. We're talking about Metroid Prime 4, right?
Yeah.
And I have mixed feelings about Metroid Prime 4. He gave it an 8 out of 10.
Who did?
Salty.
Oh, salty, okay.
I gave it a 6.5, all things considered.
Yeah.
And then stated afterwards, I ought to take a point away because I paid almost $100 for that game, right?
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, it is by far my least favorite of the Metroid Prime games. No comparison to be made there. But he really, 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 really likes it. And I'm like, that's fine. Whatever. We got into we'll call it a debate, I guess, or like we explained why we didn't like it, and I don't really understand why Salty gave it an 8.
Probably just his preferred style of game.
Well, the way he was saying it was like, oh yeah, I really liked it. It was really fun. It was a blast playing. Like, yes, it's very fun to play. I won't say otherwise. There are some parts that I feel were annoying, but when you play a Metroid game, you kind of have to go for similar things, right? So like, oh, it takes so long to go from point A to point B, and then you have to go back to point A from point B and C. Fine, you expect that. Backtracking is what makes a Metroid game a Metroidvania, right?
Yeah.
So you expect it. It's just that usually you move through hallways and areas that are kind of like exploratory, and in Metroid Prime 4, you move through the same desert 50 times. Which really annoyed me. And then he was like, well, at least there wasn't any MacGuffins in this game. I'm like, what about the 5 MacGuffins that are the story thing, and then the 6 mech pieces you have to pick up? He's like, well, they weren't that bad. I'm like, but they're the same thing formulated differently in a more boring zone, right? So to me, his concept, it ended up being, I liked it because it could have been so much worse. And I'm like, but you don't get points for the game you didn't make being worse than the game you did make?
Yeah.
In my opinion? Because in my opinion, it's the opposite. It could have been so much better if Nintendo hadn't decided they really, 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 really wanted to make an open world game out of a series that didn't need to be open world whatsoever. Right? And they didn't even go full on to the open world aspect. They just made the weird flat desert zone, which offends me every time I think about it too much. So like, I'm like, so like you don't get points for the game you made because the game you didn't make because the game you didn't make also could have been better both ways, right?
Yeah.
I'm in fact talking about Metroid Prime 4. I liked it. I didn't like it more than the other Metroid Prime games. I feel it's a downgrade.
I feel like the way that Salty picks things is, like the way he evaluates them is very different.
Yeah, which is fine. Which is why I wasn't saying like your opinion isn't valid. I'm just saying like when we were being asked by someone else, hey, is this game worth it? I was like, here's my thoughts. And if you feel like it is, you will have fun. Absolutely. If you don't, that's up to you as well, my guy. Like,
Yeah.
it's a Metroid Prime game. All of our friend groups are very much into the Metroid games in general. We've all enjoyed them. The thing is that my enjoyment of Metroid games seems to be more in line with our other friend Max than Salty's, because Salty decided that his deal breaker was going to be quick time events, of which there are some in the most recent Metroid 2D games. But they weren't really that bad, in my opinion.
Okay.
But he was really offended by them, and he knocked them down like a bunch of points for it. To the point where he doesn't like Dread at all. He thinks it's really bad, or he doesn't. He just really hates it because.
So he just doesn't like quick time events?
Yeah, which is they're present in three Metroid games. Which, like, I get it. You don't like quick time events, though. That point kind of falls apart when you tell me that you really enjoyed the God of War trilogy, which are.
Quick time events.
They're very well known for being one of the earliest action games to use quick time events, so
Yeah.
do what you want. It's your opinion. You get to enjoy the game the way you want. That's the important part. I think that he's also like, I think I should also knock it down a point for being so expensive. It looks like this door needs electricity open, so we need to turn the power out and the water back on. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, the price point is a very sour point for Metroid Prime 4, I'm not gonna lie. The last Metroid Prime game that came out was valued about 50 to 60 bucks, I think. The last Metroid game that came out was valued 40 bucks on the Switch.
Yeah.
Ah, sick. But the Metroid Prime 4, after being in development hell for about 8 to 13 years, I want to say 8, 13 might be over-exaggerated, but like they scrapped the whole game at some point and they got a new studio on it.
Yeah.
Fair. Was worth twice the price of the last Metroid Prime game, which is, you know, whatever. It's like 3 console generations ago, I get it, but also, yuck.
Yup. Well, didn't they do Dread?
Yeah, and Dread's not a Metroid Prime game. I know. Honestly, Spike, I would also argue that it is kind of mediocre in terms of a Metroid Prime game. I'm sad because we had a tier list that we made. Yeah, Metroid Prime 4, sorry. Prime 1, 2, and 3 were phenomenal, and my issues, I hate to beat a dead horse here, but my issues revolve around the fact that the narrative's kind of weak in 4. The fact that the antagonists that they've had three. Why are you bad at game?
Okay, there we go. I don't know why it wasn't coming loose.
Like the fact that they're antagonists that they essentially built up for 3 whole games, which was the exact same amount of time that they had to build up the previous Metroid Prime antagonist, right? Was a nothing burger. Really made me mad. Or meh, right? So I was like really bummed out by the time it was at the end of the game. I was like, yeah, that's it. That's all this. And then the levels are honestly some of the most boring levels a Metroid Prime game has had to offer in the series. And then like Salty was like, well, at least this level was the best I've ever seen, or like peak design. I was like, I didn't think so. I think it was very boring. I really didn't like his favorite level.
Yeah.
It felt like a diet version of a level from Metroid Prime 2. Because in Metroid Prime 2, there's a stage called the Sanctuary Fortress, and the concept is, it is the last bastion, or it was the front lines, I think, actually, between, I may be quoting this wrong, but I believe it was the front line between, they're called the Luminoth, they're like these moth-like aliens.
Yeah.
That lived on this planet that was fully light-based, so like, all their energy was based off of like the sunlight and the light of the planet.
Yeah.
And which, in hindsight, by the way, because I never realized this, they're moths.
Yeah.
So, But like, so the Luminoth fought these invasive species called the Ing, and the front line of the battle was fought on an area called Sanctuary Fortress, which is this really high up, like, super techno area, like, compared to the rest of the place. No argument, Metroid Prime are sci-fi games, right?
Yeah.
This one was like future sci-fi. Like, you walked in and it was techno music in the background. The skyline was thunder. There are robots you were fighting everywhere. Like, they had, essentially you were fighting off the defense system that the place had, and also the war mechs that they had designed.
Yeah.
Which were like these tripods with disconnected control units in the form of heads, so that if the legs went haywire or were damaged, the head could get up, disconnect, still fire shots, and potentially connect to a less destroyed version, right?
Yeah.
So, it was sick. It was such a cool design. One of the most hardcore areas in the game, of course. And then you get into, like, Metroid Prime 4's second area, I believe. Third area, technically? No, it's the second. Called Volt Forge. And essentially, it's a factory. But aesthetically, it looks like a purple version of Sanctuary Fortress. And I was like, Skyline of Thunder? Okay, I get it. This is all about lightning and stuff. It's literally got Volt in the name. I get it. But, like, really, all it was is it's literally just a factory where they were building the bike. Yeah, and I don't want to downplay how cool that might look, but you fight the robots, you have maintenance drones, you have, like, all of 3 types of enemies in that zone, which I think is another thing that, like, Metroid Prime 4 unfortunately fails at. The logbooks in the first 3 games had a huge amount of enemies, some of them being, like, 3D versions of, like, Metroid Classic enemies, if they could pull it off and make it make sense. Like, the Space Pirates show up at least once in every game, which is the whole point. They show up for, like, 2 minutes in the original, in Metroid Prime 4, which is whatever. There's something about Metroid Prime 4 that also makes it sound and feel like it's pulled away from the rest of the series, which makes sense and also doesn't make sense, because at its core, it is in fact on a planet that they have no idea where it was. They got teleported there by accident by an artifact, right? But it's the first time in so long that we've had a Metroid Prime game, and you're gonna disconnect it that way, and not, like, make it a full-on, like, fresh thing, right? It's not a whole new storyline. They tried to connect to older Metroid Prime games by the presence of the antagonist, by these things that people know. Like, the Galactic Federation are there, and they keep talking about Samus's old achievements, and how they're a fan, or how they respect her because she's, like, basically this legend walking next to them.
Yeah.
But it's like lip service, because the actual connections aren't there. You don't have a fully connected antagonist. He's supposed to be connected. I hate Silex. He sucks. He looks so cool, and they wasted it so badly. He's like this antagonist that throughout the entirety of the games, you're being told he has a mysterious connection to Samus's past. He has a mysterious connection to the Galactic Federation's past. He hates the Galactic Federation. Samus did something that pissed him off, and you're thinking maybe he's like, I don't know, like, it's almost, I don't want to draw parallels between him and other characters, because any parallel you draw between him and other characters, antagonistic or not, falls apart because of how little they used him. He's there.
Isn't his connection to Samus not that mysterious?
You learn at the spoilers for Metroid Prime 4, which, I mean, it's a big fat nothing burger, but until I've seen the secret scene that I'm gonna watch at some point on my own, I'm gonna stick by this argument that his characterization really fails, because the concept is he was there at some point when Samus did a thing. You don't know what. Samus did a thing, a galactic base went off, or something exploded while the Space Pirates and the Galactic Federation were fighting. Everybody died. Except for Samus and this one Galactic Federation soldier.
Okay.
When Samus, in the flashback, because there's no dialogue in this flashback, in this flashback, you see Samus reach up and try to get him to stand up, like try to offer her hand for him to stand, right? And he slaps it away. And that's the only flashback you get of Silex that might explain why he's so pissed off at Samus, and why he's so pissed off at the Galactic Federation.
Has nothing to do with the previous game that we've seen him in?
No, because in the previous game he already freaking hated her.
Oh.
Because in the first time, so the first 2 games you see him in are DS games, first of all, so not as accessible as the other one. No, that's not true. The Metroid series has been mostly portable, so right? But the first game was Metroid Prime Hunters, where he's thrown in with a bunch of new characters that are all bounty hunters that are on this like star system trying to get access to these artifacts because they think there's a special treasure, and whether they think it's the form of a super weapon or whatever, because they're all there with their own reasons. But you have like, I've mentioned this a lot of times because the quality of what could have happened pisses me off. You have like this guy who's like a golem. Imagine a golem with like yellow crystals poking out of him.
Yeah.
That's this guy. He's like, I believe in his storyline, he's like tied to a religion in that, and he needs to do like this coming of age ceremony or this specific thing in his culture, right?
Yeah.
Super Metroid fits in after Metroid 2, which is after the Prime quadrology right now. So the timeline goes, I don't know where Galactic Federation fits in, because I don't remember where that exactly, but the main games are Metroid 1, Prime 1, 2, 3, and now 4, I have to assume, Super Metroid, which ends with the complete destruction of every single Metroid except for the baby.
Okay.
Super Metroid, which starts immediately after the end of Metroid 2. Is that our kid? 2 ahead.
I was skipping.
Immediately at the end of Super Metroid, Metroid 2, Super Metroid starts, and then at the end of Super Metroid, they start Other M. Other M starts right after that, when she gets her debrief. Then Other M ends with her blowing up this thing called the Bottle Ship, which was a Galactic Federation experimentation like ship where they were trying to clone the things that they scraped off her armor. So everything she killed during the events of Super Metroid had DNA left on her, and they managed to scrape it off, and they were trying to revive most of those species, which is illegal in this world because you're using bioweapons, and that's the reason they don't like the space pirates. They use bioweapons. They like bioengineer people, so that's bad, right? Yeah. But the Galactic Federation was doing this because they thought maybe they could get like some super weapons out of it. Yeah. Also, Metroids were extinct.
Yeah.
So they tried to revive them that way. Unfortunately, they were kind of stupid, and they decided, why don't I just clone everything that's on Samus's thing? So they ended up reviving space pirates, they ended up reviving Ridley, they ended up reviving Metroids, they ended up like everything, right? And then after Other M, Metroid Fusion. Metroid Fusion used to be the end of the timeline because they didn't make a game after that. And then the story I told you last time, where like in Metroid Fusion, you get sent.
Baby.
That's at the end of Super Metroid, actually.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, well, that's a thing that pissed people off during Other M, is that in Other M, most of the storyline, because Samus actually has like inner dialogue in that game, and it's the only game that she has actually like inner dialogue that's voiced. She has these thoughts where she's like, I feel like I lost my child. The fight against Mother Brain really affected me. It really sucked the way it happened, which reflects the way that a lot of players felt. But for some reason, a lot of people were upset about this. Well, actually, in hindsight, I think most people were frustrated by the fact that like Samus was being told by her quote-unquote superiors from the Galactic Federation that she couldn't use certain power-ups at some point, and it was really badly implemented because there was like a lava level at some point, as there usually is, and she was dying of like heat exposure. Like your health is going down until you get to the halfway point when you get attacked by a boss, and then your superior says, okay, Samus, now's the time to activate your Various Suit. And she's like, oh, thanks for the authorization. And she activates her Various Suit, and then she's resistant to fire and lava damage from that point on. Because she was told early on, hey, this is a joint operation, this is our operation. If you want to do this, you need to listen to my orders, therefore you have to listen to my authorization on some of your weapons, because they are ridiculously destructive. That being said, I understand that people got frustrated that why didn't she just activate it herself, right?
Yeah.
Why would you need, for your own survival, because an armor?
In that case, like, yeah.
An armor doesn't affect people around you, right? But whatever. Anyway, at the end of that one, her superior officer, Adam, dies, and you learn in that game that Adam was the person who trained her when she was in the Galactic Federation training before she became a bounty hunter and left away, right? Yeah. So kind of like his father figure. And then after that, she gets sent to Fusion, and she has a mission, another joint operation with 2 Galactic Federation members, who both die, I think, or almost died during that fight, because they end up on a planet. I'm not sure if it's the same planet from Metroid 2, where the Metroids all got killed, or if it's a different planet, but essentially what happens is they find something, a new life form that they did not identify until then, called the X-Parasite, and it immediately, like, they're like, something's weird about the creatures here, we gotta check in with them. She kills a monster, X-Parasite comes out, latches onto Samus, and they're like, holy crap, what's happening? Because her suit isn't able to fight it off, and she's, like, dying on the spot. So they take her back to the Galactic Federation. The Galactic Federation's like, whoa, what can we do? What is this? And they finally figure out that this thing might be able to die if she has if Metroids happen, right? So they inject her with Metroid DNA. She becomes part Metroid unknowingly. Yes, knowingly, actually, they explain it pretty well. Fights it off herself because she has the antibodies and genetics necessary to do so. And then she's told, there is a planet where a ship crashed recently. Can you go there and clear these things out? Because it is currently infested with... Actually, I don't even think she sent there herself. My bad, actually. I think what happens is there's a distress signal, and they specify either in that game or Other M that distress signal was called Baby's Cry, which is why in Other M she answers it, and it's why in Fusion it's implied that she answers it, if I recall correctly. Because she's still thinking about the end of Super Metroid, right? So she ends up on this planet where she sees the X parasite. She's like, holy crap, I gotta do something about it, right? This also, I'm the only person in the world that can do this because I am technically the last living Metroid. However, when she ends up there, she realizes that one of the X parasites' special traits is that they can completely assimilate target DNA and then transform into the thing that they absorb.
That's how Dark Samus comes about, right?
No. Close. Okay. Because Dark Samus wasn't necessarily a thing yet. This is a Game Boy Advance game that released before the Prime games. This is how another thing called the SAX happens. Because they had to surgically remove her power suit. She now has a fusion suit instead, which takes into consideration her new morphology. However, it doesn't help her against temperature problems. In the case of pre-Fusion Metroid games, would have been fine until she hits like fire zones or lava zones, right?
Yeah.
In the case of Fusion, she has the same genetic weakness that every Metroid has, which is cold. They cannot withstand cold, and that's how you beat them in the 2D Metroid games. You hit them with the ice beam, you hit them with a missile, they're dead. The problem is, she doesn't have ice beam anymore, because she doesn't have her suit. You know who has her suit? No, the SAX virus. The X parasite. So there's these really well-designed sections where you'll walk into a room and you'll know that there's something else in here because the spotlight, like the lights will be dim and it'll be spotlighted onto one thing, and it's your armor walking around. And the second that she sees you, it starts firing ice beams at you, and they'll take like 1 to 2 health tanks away from you. You do not want to get spotted. It's terrifying, and it is phenomenally done. Metroid always does horror very well. Say what you will, but their horror is, and then at the end of Fusion, she ends up killing off most of what she thinks the SAX are, the X parasites are, right? And she also figures out, you don't know this when you play Fusion the first time if you play them in release order, but after playing Other M, you'll know that the ship that crashed on that planet is the bottle ship from Other M, which means if anything survived that, it was stuff that was, it was DNA that was cloned off of her armor the first time around.
I don't know if you pointed it out, and if you did, that'll be on me for not paying attention. But have you also pointed out the very first time you ever see SAX on screen?
Like the camera?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I didn't. But it's like part of the horror bit is like when you see it the first time. Well, you're not in the same room. The game shows you a shot of SAX coming in after you into an elevator room. So you're technically going to a different section of the crashed bottle ship, and you're seeing SAX walks in. I think it destroys a wall, and when it walks in, it's a Game Boy Advance game, so the camera, in quotation marks, pans up to its face, and you get like a shot of like, it looks like Samus's face, but the eyes are completely blank because it's assimilated her DNA, but only in so much as, why would it matter that I have eyes that look the same, right? Right now, they're hidden behind the visor. It's a freaking jarring. You're like, that's me. That's me at the height of my power. And you only get to kill the SAX at the end of the game. I believe it is technically the final boss, though at the point of its death, it is not in... Oh, no. I was going to say it's not in the Samus version, but it is. When you get back every upgrade that you can get, including your Vari suit, you fight it, and it gives you Ice Beam after you beat it, but it mutates into, like, this amalgamation of, like, a bunch of other DNA that it's assimilated, because it doesn't know how to cope with you anymore. It can't... It's afraid of you to the death because it identifies you as the only predator that can possibly get rid of it.
Yeah.
In the form of like, that's a Metroid, and that's gonna die as fast as possible. And now my only self-defense is it working. So it starts freaking out and like mixing and mashing all this DNA to try and get you. And when you take it down, you think you kill it, but you don't actually get to absorb its parasite at that point until you go back. You hit the self-destruct button on the bottle ship again, by the way, might I add.
Yeah.
Because you did that in other you try to head back to your ship, and right in front of where your ship was docked is an Omega Metroid, which is the second strongest version of a Metroid and the only end of evolution a normal Metroid can get to.
Yeah.
And you have a pretty rough fight until near the end. The ex-parasite that was wearing your armor comes back and unloads on this thing and gets killed that way.
Okay.
And then you get to escape on your ship, and you explode the bottle ship. But yeah, it's also a clever way of them going. You can move things sideways, by the way, when you're ripping them from the front.
Because it's Metroid. Why wouldn't there be an escape sequence?
Yeah, well, the escape sequence in Metroid Prime 4 was it was really early too.
Yeah, surprisingly.
I felt like they just kind of had to like put one in because yeah, it's Metroid. Why wouldn't there be an escape sequence? Yeah, you have a timed boss fight most of the time in these games. But yeah, in Spike asks where does Super Metroid fit in, which is now 6th in the timeline, I think.
Oh wow.
I'm not sure about. No, Prime Hunters also counts, so it's 7th in the timeline. But I don't know what Federation Force fits in. Can't you? Okay, well then, okay, that's good. When you when you end up, and then that's where Dread comes in because they released that like what 3 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
When Dread comes in, you get told if you go back to this place that the Chozo had also colonized, you should. I forgot to record. You should be able to you're figuring out something, and Samus is like kind of left reeling from her adventures in Fusion. She's like, I don't know what I am anymore. I need to figure out who I am, where I was. So maybe if I go back and find some stuff about the Chozo, I might learn more about my past and whatnot. And then she does in fact find what might be a surviving Chozo, just that Chozo really doesn't like her.
Okay.
His name is Ravenbeak, and he was part of the opposite faction to the Chozo that gave Samus her armor and DNA, Chozo DNA,
Yeah.
and raised her. And the reasoning is, I believe Ravenbeak was part of the faction of Chozo that created the Metroids. Whoa, they have an organ. How cool. Let me demonstrate my chops for you. Well, now. Huh? I guess we're going to leave him behind. Well, what now?
I like that he does that. He's like, huh? And then he's like, let's do this
Just
again.
confirms,
Stop.
yeah.
Do this again.
I don't know. Alright, why don't you guys go ahead while I'm playing? What? And let you lock us in? Man, you don't trust me, do you? Of course not. I guess we all have our issues. I'll tell you what, why don't you leave a person or two behind to watch me? How's that sound? Fine. Watch Emperor.
Leon gets to choose who's staying.
So who's gonna stay?
We do. Okay. Not Rudy. Leon?
Totally wrong. I'll stay. I'll make sure that he won't do anything stupid. Yeah, whatever. Well, Carol, we're counting on you. Sure, no problem.
He's the one. Like, when we first got those things on our heads, they told us you can't go too far away from the transformer.
How far is too far, apparently?
Right? Because we keep going really far from it.
I'm gonna walk in, explode immediately. Oh, that was not the right choice. Did you skip that treasure chest on purpose?
What? No!
I don't think it opens from the side. Wah, wah.
I didn't see the treasure chest.
About the box down here. So yeah, when
I missed the box.
when you meet Ravenbeak, you see he's pretty peeved. He's trying to... I don't quite remember the full story of Dread. You also know that the entire facility is like on Bazonkar's mode because the defense system in the form of these like autonomous robots called Emmy are fully violent and killing people left and right. So you have to fight your way around these areas while these robots are like running around, kind of like SAX does, where like you enter an area, you know Emmy's there, and the second that Emmy can detect you, you have got to run. Because you can't take out Emmy until you get like a special power-up per zone.
Yeah.
So it affects the way you explore the same way that the SAX virus did, the SAX parasite did. I think it's right up there now.
Yeah, it is. So... Wait, no, this is what I did.
Hmm?
This is what I did before we came here.
Okay.
We went back to the front.
Ooh.
We went all the way around.
Ooh.
Part of why he's explaining this in such detail is because I've never played any of the Metroid games. Like, I've heard of them, I know who Samus is, but I've never played.
Samus is... yeah. We're going on with this because I was mad about this whole story about Silex and Prime 4. Anyway. Yeah, so... throughout most of these games, when they show you what is going to be an antagonist, they know how to build them up. I think was my initial point, right? Because like Raven's Beak, you see him right off the bat. In fact, he kind of ambushes Samus and then strips her of her armor. Because they always have to invent a reason for why Samus doesn't have her power-ups, right?
Yeah.
And they're getting decent at it.
Like, hey, there's an explosion. Hey, somebody put their arm on.
Yeah, I mean, Fusions was probably my favorite. We were like, oh no, this thing forces you. And I think, like, part of why I like Fusion so much is because the Fusion suit she has, which is, like, opposed to, like, we all know what Samus looks like in her power suit. In all the Smash games, she always has the power suit, is what it's called, which is her second to final upgrade in most games. It's the orange one, right? I guess just because it looked a little better in the 64 era on 3D, so they decided to give her those colors that didn't clash so much. But usually after she gets her power suit, you can get something called a gravity suit, which is purple, and roughly has the same design, right? Because in the earlier Metroid games, they didn't really like add stuff to her armor. They didn't really add stuff to the armor. It was kind of just the color palette changed, and now she has shoulder pads after she gets power armor, right?
Yeah.
But as the games go on, you get more fancy armors because with better graphical engines, things just tend to be cooler, right?
Yeah.
So like you've got in the original Prime games, they gave you the same upgrades. In Prime 2, you get, instead of the Varia gravity and power suit, you get the dark suit, which is like, I'm gonna have to show Ada. I think there's no point in not doing it. Why don't we start with the Phazon suit actually? Because I think the Phazon suit is in fact the most different you get in the original Metro Prime. Because you go gravity suit and whatnot, right? This is the Phazon suit, I believe, but like it gets red master, it gets redded out, so you can ignore certain other levels of Phazon at some point, if I recall correctly. And then like when you get to Metroid Prime 2, there's other environmental hazards that you want to fight or deal with in Metroid Prime 2. So instead of like the Phazon, instead of like your usual, the Varia suit protects you from heat, and then the power suit will protect you from acid, and then the gravity suit will allow you to do...
Oh, it's hidden!
Those will like protect you for certain things. In this one, she gets like these massive wheel-like shoulder pads with the dark suit. It's also like way more toned down because the idea of the dark suit is you can now reduce damage from the main mechanic of Metroid Prime 2 is there's two worlds. You have the light world and you have the dark world, and then the dark world. What? We're hearing weird noises.
Yeah.
In Japanese. Oh, maybe it's a memory game.
Maybe.
Can you interact with the door and see if he tells us anything about it? What was that sound? We have to get in the right order.
Fudge buckets, okay.
unpress all the buttons for a second. Are there sounds that don't appear in the pattern as you?
That's the first sound.
Yeah. That's one of them, but that's the second one.
So we know these, this.
Go back to the door. We'll be able to listen.
I wish they made it easier to hear.
I didn't hear the second noise. Okay, well the second one is the short monkey sound, the last one,
Yeah.
I think.
Fudge!
Unpress it.
Drow.
Yeah.
So I found drow. Not that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think it's a beep beep. Yeah.
Oh, we can move while it's doing that.
Oh.
Okay, this one?
Yeah. It's the, I think it's the third there. No, not that one. The other one. Maybe.
No, I think that comes after this sound.
It's not that.
That, are you sure?
Yeah. How long they gotta fry? Yeah, it's the third one.
And you think this one?
I don't remember, so. I thought that one came
No,
early.
I think that one comes just before this one.
Also, we might just be doing the puzzle wrong. That's the before last one. Yeah, that's that one movie. Yeah, that's the last one. So I think we might be doing it wrong.
They don't really give us much of a hint as to what to do.
Well, I assume we have to do them in order, but I'm supposed to use the switches.
Whoa, wait, the second one's 8? Oh, wait, yeah, I know that. Never mind. We did them in that
Is
order.
there which way to change this way to handle this way? Yeah, I don't know. Hang on.
I'm doing a pink eye number. I am so close to finishing it.
Well, what's the? Can we get the guide or is? Hell yeah. It's the wrong order. Is this gonna be a better? Yeah, it's a little better. feels a bit rough. We're not in Tarazzi, are we?
Over with the bar.
We're in, okay, finally went out of the store. Now, once you've taken all your shopping into the castle, continue with store room, save point, head left, grab the usual. Return to the room with the valve. Okay, cool. We'll open the chest, sharp
Oh,
bit.
there it is. There.
Here. This is not wrong. This is supposed to be wrong, from what I understand. I guess try it. So,
I'll unstick them.
yeah. Examine the door will produce a series of bizarre sound effects you have to replicate by stepping on the right buttons. You can try to solve it on your own if you want, but if you get stuck, step on the buttons in the sword. Can you just walk over them if I move inside here? Yeah. Okay, so it should be... Allegedly, this guide says 1. 8, so the last one.
We got those right.
2. 7. 3. 6. 4. That's pretty simple. 5.
We might have had 4 and 5 mixed up.
Yeah,
or
maybe
not
that.
4 and 5. Like,
5
step
and 6 or
4 and
something.
5.
Yeah. So yeah, the dark suit looks like this, and then at the end of Prime 2 you get the light suit, where you absorb the light of ether, and it looks like this. Just super sleek. And every time, of course, you go into these, you get a new freaking morph ball form.
You have lines.
What?
You have lines.
What do you mean lines? Oh, okay. Now I gotta go back to Carol. Oh, thanks. Yeah, and this is what it like kind of. It's the same suit.
You're late.
You're late. How about you suck mine? I thought he was gonna attack us. I was like, what?
I thought he was gonna shock us.
Yeah, the new suit in Prime 4 looks good, and then it doesn't change the first time you get a suit upgrade. I was like, well, why?
Yeah. But then you lose the suit.
You always lose the suit at the end. She can't bring it into later timeline games.
I mean, you could start in the suit and then get a new suit.
No, because those games were created before the game.
Then do stuff after the timeline.
Like, this suit, she gives it up because it has the light of ether. That's the source.
Yeah.
Then in Prime 3, her new suit is this one, where they suited her with it's called a phazon extraction device, I think, because the plot line of Prime 3 is bonkers, but it's chef's kiss. Because, like, throughout Prime 1 and 2, they explain to you that, oh, we figured out this new resource called Phazon, it generates a lot of energy, it's really powerful, a lot of creatures that end up naturally consuming it, it kind of acts like it has radiation, right? So if you touch it, well, it acts exactly like it has radiation. It tends to burn at the touch, it's like acidic kind of, it's very unhealthy for you, but some creatures can consume and or absorb it somehow, and it mutates them in weird ways, right? And the Galactic Federation figures this out, rather Samus figures this out, when she gets sent by the Galactic Federation to a space pirate outpost, and she finds that they have been experimenting on these creatures called parasites. Not the X-parasite. And then they're like these little, like this big creature, or like this big creature, with like big mantis-like claws and like weird prehensile tails.
Yeah.
And by feeding them enough Phazon, they managed to generate something called a Parasite Queen, I believe she was created that way, which mutated so big that it was like several magnitudes time larger than a human being. And then it gets violent, and they broke out, and they killed almost all of the the space pirates, and except for Ridley and a couple other ones that you end up finishing off when you arrive, except for Ridley, because Ridley is your nightmare and they can't have you fight him early on. That'd be wrong. Yeah, and then you end up like, oh my god, you end up figuring out that Phazon really bad for people actually, and then as you fight, you learn that Phazon mutates things. You figure out that Phazon somehow got exposed to a massive Metroid in the center of this planet called Talon 4, and when you get to the center, you find the Metroid, you kill it, the Metroid Prime, and as I've stated before, the Metroid Prime retaliates by doing what it do best and trying to siphon your life away, but it doesn't really work, and instead steals your Phazon outfit, your Phazon suit. So you have to not only escape Talon 4 while the self-destruct sequence is going on, because it's escape sequence, of course, but you have to do it no longer being immune to Phazon on your way out. In the center of the planet, which is full of Phazon. What?
Really the direction that I thought I came from, but I didn't. Which is why I went when I realized that one of them was done and the other one wasn't.
So, if you play the game well enough and you scan enough things, you get a secret ending scene at the beginning, at the end of Metroid Prime 1, where they tell you, oh, by the way, that Metroid Prime that stole, the Metroid Prime that stole your armor,
Yeah.
it did the thing. It's wearing the armor now. And that's where Dark Samus comes in, and she starts consuming Phazon in huge quantities in an attempt to power herself up and get stronger. But the important factor here that I want to parallel to the other Metroid Prime antagonist that they made is that Dark Samus starts off as the main final boss of the first game, right?
Okay.
Good crispy outside, very nice. Good, very good.
Ooh,
Air fryer,
nice.
beak. Yeah, so as you finish the game, you fight the Metroid Prime. It kind of got hyped up. There are log entries about it all over the place, etc., right? And then when you finally fight the Metroid Prime, it has 3 phases, as most final boss, or 2 or 3 phases, as most final bosses tend to do. You get to beat it using your power-ups the best way possible. You get to do a bunch of fun stuff, etc. And then when you start Metroid Prime 2, you're told, oh, there's this Galactic Federation crew we lost contact with outside this planet that seems to have a lot of like geothermal storms or whatever.
Yeah.
So can you go check in on them? And when you go there, you figure out that every single Galactic Federation trooper that ended up on that planet ended up dying. And you get to see the camera footage for it. Is that they got swarmed by these like seemingly non-threatening. Well, they're threatening like hostile creatures that have I think they're called splinters that had a hive nearby.
Yeah.
But for some reason, the splinters that you have met and the splinters that are showing up on the footage look significantly different. So like they're like these little white things that you fight that look like they're bugs. They have exoskeletons. They have like these weird mantis claws and legs. I think they only have 3, but whatever. And they kind of do this thing where they web, of course, because why wouldn't they? It's a hive. And then I don't know.
It was a bigger valve too, and I'm like, I don't understand why we need that valve.
But this.
No, but the valve was already there.
And then when you end up looking at the footage, the splinters are now like darker in color, if not completely black, and their like faces have like orangish hues to them, and they're clearly way more aggressive and also way more organized in their assault on the Galactic Federation troopers.
Yeah.
And then you start seeing corpses of the Galactic Federation troopers get up and start shooting at you. And
No, thank you.
as you like, and this tends to happen when like you see these like, we'll call them portals because that's what they are. They like spew out this weird gaseous substance, and when they touch a corpse or they touch a creature, they mutate them almost instantaneously, or possess them essentially. And you're like, what the hell? And then eventually you find a rift in space-time right before you get to the full explanation of what's going on, and you end up in a room in an area where you are next to with a staff with a crystal on it, right? And you're facing off against yourself? Question mark? But her armor's black, and her visor's blue, and the energy going through her is blue. What's going on? What am I looking at? And if you were diligent in your scans, you see that there are scans and entries about her, how she has seemingly the same morphology as you, Samus Aran, and because Samus Aran is in the Galactic Federation database for multiple reasons, they're a little confused because she's way more aggressive and way more violent. So they're like, what the hell's going on? And she seems to be surrounded by these creatures that look like they have 3 big bladed claws up front and 2 in the back. And they have like, I'll show them. There's a really, it's complicated to, they're freaky looking, and they never show up in a Metroid game ever again. But this is what these bastards look like.
Oh!
And you're in an area where it's all dark, and you're freaking out. Well, you're not freaking out. You're sat there, and she's like confused because she's surrounded by these monsters that are clearly under control, right? And there's this like area around you that is light. But the first thing that, when you've stared off Dark Samus enough to realize that she's like clearly not you, she shoots the crystal goes down, the Ing all jump at you, and they rip your armor apart. And they steal your upgrades.
Yep, that's one way.
And you manage to like barely drag yourself into the light world again. Just long enough to like realize, oh, I don't have missiles, oh no, I think she keeps her missiles in that game. I don't have missiles, I don't have Morphball. She keeps Morphball Bomb, and missiles in that game. I think it's the only game that she keeps all those. Those are usually upgrades you need to unlock. You want to get Rudy to heal your poison.
Philia might get poisoned again. Because she just went through the process of healing someone.
Also, I think Rudy just learned another spell.
She didn't get me, so she probably did somebody else. Sharpness.
Ah, cool.
I've been having her heal Philia like a lot. Because
And then what they do in Metroid Prime 2 is, you know Dark Samus is there. You just don't always see her. But as you're going through, you're seeing data entries on her, you're seeing signs that she's trying to collect as much Phazon as possible, and she seems to be attracted where there is Phazon. And in every area that you end up going to, you see signs that she's been there, and or you fight her. You fight her about 3 times in that game. When you get to the end of the game, and you're just about to destroy, or you manage to take back the light of ether that is keeping the dark side stable, the timer goes off, right? The timer starts. Oh, you have an escape sequence. But it's not that bad, because the escape sequence, like the walk up to the final boss is literally like 2 or 3 screens.
yeah.
But then you end up in an area which is like surrounded in Phazon, and guess who's waiting for you?
Dark Samus?
Dark Samus, but hang on.
Does she have all your upgrades?
She looks like this.
Ew!
So for those of you who don't see, her feet are out. And you can see like literally through the armor, because essentially Dark Samus is not... She's basically assimilated the Phazon armor completely at that point, right?
Yeah.
You fight her, you kill her. You have to fight her using her weaponry, because she's basically immune to most of your conventional stuff. You have to absorb Phazon, which damages you if you keep it too long. But you manage to like damage her that way, and then eventually you get out of Dark Ether right as it collapses on itself, completely destroying all the Ing because they cannot exist in the light world.
Yeah.
You free the Luminoth, they thank you, you go off, and then Metroid Prime 3 starts, and at that point you're pretty convinced that, you know, you've killed Dark Samus, right?
Yeah.
You start Metroid Prime 3, and you get told, Samus, please come talk to us, we need to talk to you, you're an expert on Phazon, blah blah blah. We need your help on this Galactic Federation installment, right? And it's very reminiscent, or rather, Metroid Prime 4's intro was very reminiscent of this, because you end up there while they're fighting space pirates. The space pirates are clearly pulling off this very organized attack to try to do something, and the first thing they try to do is they take out the orbital or the airstrike cannons that you have at the thing, and you're like, why would they do that? And you get told, oh, we need those things back up because there is a massive meteorite that is about to hit the planet, and if it hits it, the damage will be unknowable. We don't know what's going on, but this thing looks freaky deaky too. They show you like a 3D scan of the thing. It's got tentacles. Why does the meteorite have tentacles? What the hell? And they're like, yeah, it's like partially biological, and it seems to be almost entirely comprised of Phazon. And you're like, excuse me? So you go to set up everything, right? You fight off the pirates. Are unfortunately reminded that Ridley is not fully dead because he didn't die on screen.
Yeah.
Over and over again. So you fight Meta Ridley in one of the most hardcore setting fights that you might have seen, because after activating 2 of the power systems or generators that allows you to run the cannons, you got like 2 or 3 of them I think set up. You end up in one of them, and the way that these things are designed is classic Star Wars setup. Like you walk in, it's a big room, there's a huge like vertical cylinder area, and you go around and you hit some buttons in the middle, and then just as you're about to activate the final one, Ridley comes out of nowhere, grabs Samus, scrapes her on the wall of the cylinder, and then starts dragging you down, and you're both in free fall for the timed boss fight that you have to do. And like the camera angle changes, and because you're playing on the Wii, you're meant to be aiming with the Wii remote. So it's like it's one of the best boss fights in the series, I'm gonna be honest. Just because of how sexy the setup is. And like you can tell Samus is tired of this guy because when you take him down, I've only seen her be this brutal in 2 other games. The other game, Other M, has like an entire mechanic where you get to execute people by using like fancy ninja moves, which makes sense because the designers are the ones who made like the DMC remake and also some Ninja Gaiden games, so makes sense. And the other game is Metroid Other M, I think. No, not sorry, I just said Other M. Metroid Samus Returns 2, where you have like counter executions. The same concept is there. Samus is tired of this crap, and you feel it in the way she fights. And when she finally beats Meta Ridley, she like goes down, lands on his torso, rips his jaw open, and fires like 5 shots into his mouth. You're like, die. Oh man, Batista, there's no use trying to escape. We have you now.
I skipped Batista's line by mistake.
My, what big words from the mouth of a tiny little runt. I'm not running or hiding anywhere. I don't remember his voice. Yo, what did you do with Fate? I've locked him up in a cell. I even have the key to his cell right here if you want it. Of course, that was a joke. Don't worry, I'll enjoy killing him after you. Gee, it's so nice to know that someone cares about us. Now I think it's about time I play a funeral march. A funeral march. For you. Call a medic, but not for me. Silence, you insolent punk. You think you can beat me?
We did. Not to mention you still have the headband on.
You stupid moron. Did you forget the tiara on your head? What a goober.
Called it! Batista, stop. This is meaningless.
Meaningless, you make me laugh. These electric shocks won't stop me. This tiara is useless now. He's lying. Is he some kind of a monster? He might be. Your strength of will is admirable, but how long can you last? I'll kill you before that, all of you. Come on, I'm waiting. Isn't he like super beefy? He looks like nerdy here, but when you get into the fight, he looks like a freaking monk.
Yeah. He's even bigger than a monk.
He just has a Oh my god, that's a lot of damage. What did I just say?
Ah!
Oh no, they're casting magic at us. Stop No, you're dying. Oh, Hyper Beam! What do you think you are, a Pokemon? Oh, we got, okay. Philia's dying.
Yeah, okay.
Philia's dead. Oh my gosh, love. Oh, she's dead.
Look at that, Rudy.
Wow, we get to use one of our maximum. Oh, it's pissing me off again.
We had to do that the last time we fought him too. We kept killing it.
Hey, why are you going back to that position? Okay, we killed that.
He's the last one.
Why do we keep getting more hits? Oh, okay, well he's not gonna hit with that.
Alright, he got me.
What you doing? Oh, okay.
Making Rudy fuel.
See, she's trying.
Philia.
Yeah, she just got interrupted. Okay, he's dead. Yeah. Another short sword! Yippee! You spell Philly though.
Okay.
You'll pay for this. You killed Xeno, didn't you? I'll kill you with my own hands.
Wait.
Hey, relax. Philia?
Hestia, where is Lydon? If you tell us the truth, I'll guarantee your safety.
What? Philia, you're so naive. You're a fool if you think the world was built on kindness.
If kindness did not exist in this world, life would mean nothing to me. I wouldn't be myself if I didn't believe in kindness.
What did you say?
I am who I am. Nothing will change this. Your words mean nothing to me anymore.
You're becoming stronger, Philia.
I am being more honest with myself. Now I'll ask you again. Where is Lydon?
He's not here. Then where is he? Hey, fool, take this. Key to the prison cell. What are you doing? He's getting weaker by the minute. You'd better hurry. What have you done to fate? Be more honest with yourself.
Bastia?
Why is he screaming? Is he gonna take the tiara off?
Bastia?
Leon, why did you do that? It wasn't me. He took off the tiara by himself. He committed oopsie doopsie.
That's right. They were told that they can't take it off because when Stan tried to take it off, it electrocuted him.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was a lethal shock. He's dead.
Bastia.
It's Batista.
Batista.
I'm worried about fate. Let's get going.
Why didn't you correct me the first time?
Because can't you read? I know.
Philia, let's go. Come on, Philia.
Leave her alone.
What?
Have you no tact or decency? She doesn't, actually.
No. What did you say?
Just shut up and come along. Philia, stay here. We'll be right back, okay? Fate, come on, hang in there. Carol, I'm saved. Are you alright?
You look familiar.
At least, I'd like to think so.
Yeah, he looks really familiar.
He's just generic anime boy with a red headband and white hair, I guess. I have nothing to say about that, but hey. By the way, who are these people behind you? These guys are helping me. That reminds me, I don't even know your names yet.
Yeah.
I think you've heard them say it enough. I'm Leon. I'm Stan Aileron. This says his last name.
I'm Rutia Katara. Katara? Katara?
I think that's Katria.
Katra? And this is Mary. How do you do?
And who's that priestess we left behind? She's Philip Felice, priestess from the Strelys Temple. People call me Carol, the Wanderer. Buddy acts like he's actually the secret prince of another kingdom. You haven't changed a bit. But
His eldest brother was king.
oh, we did know this actually, didn't we? Because
He's the
we saw his
third-
old house.
Yeah, he's the third brother.
My name is Fate. I'm the son of Zeno, the former Lord of Moreau. Thank you for rescuing me. Don't mention it. This was just a natural outcome of dealing with Batista. Carol, is my wife alright? Yeah, she is. So what happened to you? King Tiberius. Well, wrong voice. King Tiberius made a secret pact with Lydon to plan the invasion of Senegal. My father rebelled against his plans, so he was killed off. In turn, I was imprisoned in a cell. They're planning to invade Senegal? Oh, wrong voice again. They're planning to invade Senegal?
He looks so mad.
I can't believe the king's actually planning something like that.
Mary, can you do something fun?
Where's the king? He's in Tarazzi. Is Lydon with him? Yes, I'm sure he is, but what are you going to do? We'll kill him. Oh my god! Regicide! Regicide! We won't let them invade Senegal. That's absurd. It's far beyond your abilities. Ask yourself this then. Who defeated Batista? Well, we defeated Batista. We'll defeat anyone who stands in our way, whether it's Lydon or King Tiberius.
You did that kind of weird.
Yeah, they have a point. I know they can do it. Besides, I'm going with them too. Carol! Hey man, I'm not taking no for an answer. I got some unfinished business with Tiberius that I need to take care of. I got a score to settle with him. You're not talking about Eleanor, are you? That's enough. Don't say another word. Besides, I have other reasons. I can't forgive a man who gained his powers through corruption and lies. But be careful. I heard he has a very powerful ally on yeah, Lydon.
That means he must have the Eye of Animati. Antimony.
Antimony? That would be a reasonable assumption.
We'll find out for sure when we get there.
I understand. I'll get a ship ready for you at the harbor. Give me some time. Thanks, man. We owe you one.
I did not mean to continue the story. Astia. I'm sorry, I made all of you worry about me.
Are you sure you're alright?
Yes, I am. Philia, we know what a Lydon is. Really? Is it that same bug?
I don't know. It was a bug. Lydon is in Tarazzi, the capital of Aquavale.
Yeah, probably with the Eye of Antimony, too.
We're going there as soon as we're ready, but are you?
Please, don't worry about me. I'm coming with you.
Great. Then we should cool our heels over at the inn until our ship is ready. Sounds good to me.
But there's sections I didn't explore.
Too bad for you.
It was an accident.
The ship's ready. Please come to the harbor.
I just went to the left.
Great. If you'll excuse me. Just ran into Batista by accident. Like, oop. Did we full heal from that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rude. All they gave us was gel anyway. It doesn't really matter, does it?
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, the beginning of Metroid Prime 3, because we're still talking about that, I'm not going to go off topic. Haha. What?
I need to go to the bathroom.
No! Well, I'm going to wait for you then.
You keep talking about the Metroid game.
But I was talking to you about it.
It's the same bug.
I know it's the same type of bug, but...
It won't get off. You're not touching it.
Won't get off.
You did.
But it's already over there. Man, I love the Metroid games, guys. Shouts out to my homies at the Metroid games. Well, yeah, I didn't realize like her armor like gets more and more like consumed by the Phazon as time goes on. She doesn't look like she doesn't smash very often. I think maybe Prime 3. Maybe Prime 3 she looks a bit more like that. Except in Prime 3 she has like a face on her chest. It's hard to notice, but you don't see it as much in Smash. I guess that's the one, yeah. Of course I'm saying that, but none of you are seeing this. Listening like always. Ah, okay. We can continue the story then. To the harbor! Oh, it must be here. Are you ready to go? Yeah. Fine, then we're leaving for Tarazzi. Dun, 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 dun. The boat is going across the sea and taking us to the next level. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-dee-ba-doo. Whoa. I thought we'd stay in the same archipelago, but I guess not. Oh, no, why is something attacking us off? Carol? Stan? Who is Eleanor? I don't want to talk about it. Hey, Stan. She grew up with Fate and me. She was Fate's lover. But she passed away. I'm sorry I asked. It's quite alright. But you know there's someone I'll never forget until the day they die. Other people think I was just a harmless clown to disguise my true intentions. I've been waiting a long time to settle the score. Vengeance will be mine. Of course, the happy-go-lucky bard has a vengeance storyline. Let's go. Whoa, sorry. I didn't mean to bring you down like this. Song. Yeah, I was thinking a song to change the mood. Good idea. Alrighty then. Here's my latest tune. What was that? Sound like we collided with something. Hope we didn't run aground. Good grief. Yada yada does it. What happened? Monsters! Monsters. We're being boarded! What? Please get out! Hurry! Alright, I guess we gotta do our job. Man, cringe. Was this Golden Sun? Whoa, it's an octopus! Kind of. What the? Get it before the ship goes down! I mean, I don't think it's big enough to bring us down. It might kill a couple people, though. I was gonna say Kraken joke, ha ha ha, but that doesn't. It's Kraken cold. It looks like an almost star. Rudy, are you serious right now? It looks like Tractor Beam didn't do anything. Oh no. Oh goodness. Yeah, that kind of sucked. What? Didn't you just do that? Gonna need you to do a little bit faster healing, Rudy. Are you serious? This way. Yeah, 2 half-dying party members and 1,000 damage worth of murder spells coming our way. And here she is, casting Search Gald. Oh! And light with her character. Yep. She heals herself and Mary and me, and then I'm gonna take the money now. She was one of the dying characters. Whew, that was harsh. We should be able to infiltrate the enemy's headquarters now. Man, what a stupid interruption right when we had a chance to get some Carol lore. We've arrived. Thanks, man. We'll return to Moreau and bring more reinforcement here. Try to buy some time until then. You better hurry up. That is, if you want a piece of the action. We might just have the enemy begging for mercy by the time you come. Great, and so be it. They're probably at Tarazzi Castle in the center of town. No more of the sneaking around stuff now. We're gonna bust through the defenses and blow them away. Alright. Actually, we're gonna start by getting some equipment, maybe? You got any equipment stores in there? No, this town just looks dead, dude. I bet that's by design. Statue of an Ancient Soldier. Wow. So cool. Door's locked. Great. Yeah, everyone refusing to come out is dead. Makes sense. Huh? Okay, thought the town would be, you know, bigger maybe? Engraving of some crest. I would like that we can see it from the back. Very cool. Navigating this place is a mild hassle. Door's locked. Wow, who'd guess? No, that's an exit. Going to those stairs then. You know what? You wanna look at me and be all gung-ho about existing in my space? Fine then. I gave you a chance. I flicked you away like 5 times. How about... Hey, wait. How about... Alright, sorry about that, folks. Which one was the right one? Center of town, huh? I don't know how much more centered we can get in town if I'm gonna be real. Don't use the ground. No, that's an exit. Dark and hard to see. Well, we're not gonna jump down there. That is an equipment store right there, though. But I can't access it without a boat? Is that what I'm seeing here? No, all the stores are closed too, so we're not gonna have to deal with any of that until we actually... Gotcha. I think we actually need a boat. Seems most of the actual entrances are water level. I want to, but I can't find him. He done. Got the cool ominous music, but I can't go anywhere. Legitimately, I can't go anywhere. Okay. So we're going down. Is that not an exit? That's an exit. No, it's the harbor? Ah, hello. Do you want to get on? Yeah, man. Which... When I ask you which direction... Okay. I wonder if we're going down or left. Let's go left. Okay. It's like a small puzzle town. Can I go left and then we go into the door? Yeah. It feels like it should be the castle, no? I don't want to think about anything right now. Oh boy. Although we cook at night rice every day, it can be hard to eat. That doesn't necessarily sound the way we want. Okay, good lesson you taught me there. Get out of my way, thank you. Can't go up there. Nope, we need to use the actual doorway for that. There's a rice ball here. Well, it's not for me, apparently. So the stores are still closed. I'm gonna go back here. Whee! It's on the right side. Up we go! Inside. Treasure. Oh, a life bottle. That should have turned on the water gate, yes. Yeah. Crest the gate. Can't go through that way, okay. I dare say people aren't quite feeling safe in this town. We're boarding up doors like that. Well, we only have one option that we didn't already go to. I'm gonna follow the right-hand rule, I guess, so far. Yeah, that's our weapon store. I don't know if they're gonna sell us anything. Samurai. Oh, someone's at the... Yeah. Weapon sales are banned! Rude. I cannot steal it, for it belongs to someone else. Something tells me when we liberate this place, it will go much better. I think that they're worried that the weapons are going to be... No, weapon sales is banned, but for citizens and visitors, I would assume. So they probably have most smiths working explicitly to manufacture for military purposes, not for sales purposes. Hey man, we follow the right hand rule, so. Uh-huh, silence, very cool. Well then, let me make the usage. All things considered, this is not a bad setup. There are a couple of people in my life who I wouldn't mind icing, you know what I mean? Sometimes wonder what I'd do if I were in the shoes of the great King Tiberius. Well, I don't know about the great King Tiberius if his entire people are hiding, but... Yeah, lemon jelly. Yeah, pineapple jelly. Light on part A, BBG, real BBEG part B. That's what I'm wondering. I feel like the Eye of Atimony is the final boss, based off of the size and the picture we have. But I don't have a way to, like, confirm that until we get told, you know? And if it's the Eye of Atimony, that implies that someone's controlling it and it goes out of control. I feel like it goes out of control at the end more than... I'll keep going this way, I guess. It's a dead end, whoa! Yeah, I was also watching for, like, what's the big twist gonna be-ish? What's the big nature of the world that we're gonna learn? If the antagonist actually turns out to be none other than the corporation that we've been selling our lenses to, I wouldn't be too surprised either. Though they seem to be doing good stuff, so I don't know. Right. Dragonut and Imsnare. Tempest! Ew. Oh my gosh, they spit fire. Oh, Ray? Oh, that looks a lot more menacing in this game than it does in later 3D games, if I'm going to be honest. Hey Mary, I was gonna say do something, but whoever's controlling you doesn't do stuff. It is owned by the man who put the tiaras on us? No, the king put those on us, didn't he? Oh, but there is the, Well, we're apparently supposed to view that as something more of a morally gray than a bad thing, so I don't know. I'm getting a little confused. I could have just talked to that guy. Oh, dude, the cafeteria? Never mind, I found the grub. Whoa! We found the food stairway, living on a storm. Oh gosh. Double storm? 2? Yeah, I'll show you a storm. Alright. No. Oh, they're just healing themselves? What? But I saw first there, but it was probably not them. I'm wasting all my TP so badly, dude. Hey! Stop it! Mary! Do something! Hey, cast your thing. Yeah, okay. Oh, better to run out of the air. Get out of here. Dude. W Apple? Loser? Did you can't just call me a loser? Oh. Not bad. It's the cream thing. Blowfish, yeah. Bee flakes? Bonito flakes, of course. I've watched Jujutsu Kaisen, I know what it is.
do the last little bit.
Go left. Oh, dude, we're gonna go take another dip.
Did you leave your character?
Yeah, everything's the same.
So she just wasn't fighting?
Yeah. You need the small balls, right?
I didn't do that. But
The
I
clay
was
thing.
probably washing my hands.
No, the small ball set was before.
Okay. Oh, I heard you talk about it.
It looked like a Pokemon. There's a lot of food here. Cannot swim. We'll just not go that way. Oh, I saw lightning. What the heck? Oh, ah. Hell. What was that? That's a warfish?
Yeah.
Oh, now Rudy wants to heal me, huh? New spell for Stem.
Cool.
Yeah.
Ah.
You want to see what the new spell is?
Not really.
Whoa!
I mean, it's not like I use my spells.
Fire Fear Flare sounds sexy.
I might.
Yeah, cast it at least once, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Also, I already checked that.
Okay, nothing here.
Looking for there. Well, no, there was 4 treasure chests, but I already got them.
Okay.
One of them called me a loser, so. Well, at least we know Lidon's around here. Warrior monks will be. Fear Flare.
That looks like the other flare attack.
I'm not nosing it. You had a little fire thing that went. You had the fireball, which was just. I think you had firewall, which is like bigger version of the flare spell. Oh, eruption.
Firestorm. Your flare looks like Firestorm.
No. No way. Certainly they wouldn't reutilize their animations. I didn't talk to that guy.
Did you save?
Yeah. Not that you shouldn't save again, we did pick up a bunch of stuff. Do you want to pass through?
Not yet.
Do you want me to tell you secrets about the castle? Good luck. No.
Maybe we can find them.
You said no. Twice.
Oh, I meant to say yes. For the second one.
Pretty sure you said no.
Correct. And like another.
I'm pretty sure that's where our pick is. Oh, they got Namazu over here. Get out of here.
The warfish looks funky.
I mean, it's basically a Sahagin.
Walks on 2 feet.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming you explored everywhere else.
No, I just explored on the right.
Wow. I'm gonna go explore on the left.
Anyway, yeah, the intro sequence of Metroid Prime 3 ends with you getting corrupted by Dark Samus. She shows up out of the meteorite that's crashing onto the planet.
Yeah.
Like she fires out you, like you're like in the anti-aircraft ship or the orbital defense ship, not ship, orbital defense station
Okay.
or gun, right? You're about to activate it, and then you look up everybody at the same time because all of the 4 bounty hunters that were recruited are there, which is Samus, of course. Then a man called Rundus, who seems to be, I don't remember the species is, but his species can essentially control the water in the air to make it icy.
That's a dragon?
Yeah. Then there's Gandrea, who's like this skeletal purple thing, who's a shapeshifter. The first time you see her, she's like dressed as you. And there's and Gore, I think is the name of the third guy, who's like this techie guy. He looks like a robot with like a brain
Okay.
and like reds in his color. But like as he's like there, he's there and he's chatting you up the first time. He's like, "Oh look, Samus, if blah blah blah, I'm doing this," and then you can see he's the techie, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go into my mech suit now," and he gets into like this power armor, and then he immediately becomes more aggressive because it's not just him driving armor, it's him interfacing with it the way his species or his model can, and it makes him more aggressive, which is something the scans tell you. So you're all four there, you're like, oh good, we did our mission, let's activate the thing. As you turn around, you see like something fiery come out of the comet as it's in orbit.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, thank God we got here on time. Crashes through the window, knocks everybody down. Guess who? Dark Samus is back, guys! And she just like blasts all of you with Phazon, and then and then as you guys are passing out, Samus gets up, activates the orbital cannons, destroys the comet or the object. They called it a Leviathan seed afterwards. And you learn that there were multiple of them, and they all landed on separate planets at different times. But 3 of them landed more recently on planets that they then sent the other 3 bounty hunters to check out because it took Samus longer to recover from the Phazon corruption.
Oh man.
Or from the Phazon attack. And you learn that, like, yeah, they had to create this thing and add it to your armor called the Phazon extraction device or Phazon whatever device because it allows you to do 2 things. It allows you to use the Phazon that your body is now producing because the attack that Dark Samus did inserted like a new gland or whatever inside of each of your bodies, and you're now producing Phazon biologically, which is bad because it corrupts, it kills you slowly. But that thing allows you to expel it by injecting it into your arm cannon.
Okay.
That's how they interface it with your armor.
Okay.
So you have something called hyper mode, where if you sacrifice a whole energy tank, you get to do like so much more damage. It's a pretty cool mechanic in the game. And then like yeah, as you go on, you see that like you start getting scans and stuff. You learn that the Leviathan seeds are essentially where Phazon comes from. They land on planets, and they start pumping Phazons into the vein of the planet. So the planet starts like creating the substance the same way that your body now creates them.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's not good, so we should probably go destroy those. So you're being told, yeah, they got sent to 3 other planets. The 3 planets are like, one planet called Brio, which is like this ancient planet with like ruins that they saw that the Leviathan Sea landed amidst. They sent Rundus there. Then they said there's also another planet called Elysia, which used to be a Chozo colony, mostly run by autonomous robots now. They sent Gore there because his tech expertise and whatever. Also on Elysia, they have something that you were introduced to at the beginning of the game called an Aurora unit, which is like this massive AI system. Not unlike, when you think about it a little too hard, not unlike Mother Brain, which is a autonomous robot thing that is able to control, generate mind waves and control Metroids.
Yeah.
So it's implied that the Aurora units created by the Galactic Federation, new skill and spell for Rudy. Whoa. She's learning things like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, since the beginning of the game, too. She's always learning something.
So she learned Silence, and she learned Snipe Roar, which I assume is a long-distance attack. So yeah, it's implied that the Galactic Federation is again maybe getting out of their britches a little too much by experimenting with technology that would allow them to control Metroids, which is another big plot line that we see often, because the pirates really like experimenting on Metroids.
Yeah.
But the Galactic Federation is like, whoa, that's bad. And then they'll turn around and like, let's clone Metroids. And oh, let's see if we can... One of the stupidest things they did, might I add, by the way, complete tangent, but still technically about Metroid, is that in Metroid Other M, when they cloned the Metroids, one of the reasons they had Metroids on the bottle ship was to see if they could genetically remove their weakness to cold.
Why?
The only weakness Metroids have.
No, don't do that.
They succeeded.
So now Metroids aren't.
The Metroids in Other M do not immediately die if exposed to cold environments. You need to actively shoot them with missiles, which you needed to do in previous games as well. I don't know why they made that a plot point, just to make it a mechanic, but yeah. You can't just freeze it and then it dies, or it gets like it freezes, it falls over, and one of the plot lines that piss people off is that the first time you see a Metroid, right before you see the Metroid Queen, because yes, they cloned everything off Samus's armor, and one of the things that happens at the end of Metroid 2 is she kills the last remaining Metroid Queen, right? Which is something that like only some Metroids can genetically grow to be. And it's implied that the Super Metroid that Samus had probably had the genes to become a queen, but it got experimented on by whatever, so it never evolved past its initial state. So when you find...
So, doesn't that mean that technically Samus could be a Metroid Queen?
I don't know if they took that particular Metroid's DNA, so there's... No.
Because you just said for the gene that she has.
The gene that they took off the Super Metroid, it was implied that the Super Metroid might be able to grow into a Metroid Queen.
What did these two do?
They didn't. You just wasted 2 gels.
No, their health went up.
Maybe they leveled up. But yeah, that's a thing. That was stupid. But yeah, so when you end up in Prime 3, as you continue, you obviously see that like the Aurora units, they're cool, but they're even less cool when you realize that they're super powerful because they can connect to a lot of Galactic Federation like interfaces and therefore control a lot of stuff. And one of the things that happens prior to the events of the game, I believe, is that there is a Galactic Federation frigate called, I want to say Orphan. I might be wrong. Is it Orpheus?
You know what? Metroid sounds just as complicated as Kingdom Hearts.
It's not. I don't think Kingdom Hearts is that complicated, though, to be fair.
Yeah, because everybody is Xehanort.
It's not.
Holy shit!
Is it Valhalla?
That's one.
Yes, okay. So when you get to the end of the game, you find... So, yeah, four months before the game starts, this big ship called the GFS Valhalla gets attacked, and it's of a level that it's never been attacked by space pirates before. They don't think they can ever take it down. But this thing went off the grid, and they're like, what happened? It's important because that thing had one of the Aurora units on it, and that it's completely AWOL now. We don't know where it went. Well, you learn at the end of the game, Dark Samus took it, and she brought it back to... What you learn is the source of all Phazon and the Leviathan Seeds, Phase.
Oh, fun.
It's a planet entirely made... It's a ginormous... It's a planet entirely made of Phazon.
This is all food. That was...
Yeah, that's what happened in the kitchen, too.
That was that huge square plus 2.
So, like, it's fully made of Phazon, and when you go in, you find a couple of Phazon creatures, but... Important to notice, the only thing that seems to be happening on Phase is it has this, like, a couple of, like, womb-like areas where it's growing more Leviathan seeds, and then it shoots them out. And because, as you learn through the game, Phazon is also kind of like a hive mind. Not a lot, but, like, clearly has sentience, and it's all part of the same creature, sort of. Those Leviathan seeds are just out to propagate. And you learn that not only did it land on 3 planets, which you end up going to... Oh yeah, you end up going to in the entire game, but it also landed on 2 planets prior to the events of Metroid Prime 3.
Okay.
The first one's pretty obvious, because you found Phazon on Talon 4, and it had something that resembles what you end up finding cyclically in, like... I don't think so. In Metroid Prime 3, which is a Leviathan Seed area. And what happens when a Leviathan Seed lands and burrows into a planet is it tends to do this thing where, oh, I need a Guardian. So it'll take the biggest thing it can identify as a threat, and it will corrupt it with Phazon, and that'll make the creature mutate using Phazon, first of all, but second of all, it will also mean that it has now, like, the influence of Phazon itself. So its now only thing is, I want to defend the Leviathan Seed Core. And so if you're following, the Leviathan Seed Core that landed on Talon 4 found a Metroid,
Yeah.
said, oh, this is nasty, mutates it into the Metroid Prime. Then you kill the Metroid Prime, and the Metroid Prime goes, oh, something else is nastier than what I assimilated? What does it do? It yoinks the armor off the thing that's the most nasty thing it's found. That Metroid Prime then mutates into Dark Samus, which spends the entirety of the trilogy trying to get stronger. And might I add, no dialogue on this thing, right?
Yeah.
Never speaks a single word. Still is a better character than Silex. Which brings us back to the point that I started this rant on. Silex has the exact amount of games to be in, with the exact amount of mechanics, like the same mechanics available in all the games. You have the scans, so you could build stuff about him. You have the same storytelling aspects, and yet you still made him a nothing burger of a character. And he ends up speaking at the end. He's even a playable character in multiplayer. Because Metroid Prime Hunter had multiplayer PvP.
It seemed like they wanted to tell this really cool story, and then they went, well, what are we going to make the bad guy?
Who do we just get as a new character? A new skill set? We just saw a new special. Forces here? I don't know if you had force before.
But, I mean, what?
She already had time for it? He wouldn't have been in combat, so we won't see him. He gets enough time. I have force now. You can replace a power missile with force. I bet that's a beast. Ah, reduces encounters. For a lot. That costs 33, holy cow. That's like 10% of it.
Which makes sense because those were our first three, but he was 10 levels ahead of us, and then somehow.
He wasn't that much.
Yeah, he was. When we first met him, he was 10 levels ahead of us.
Hmm.
Have we gotten any equipment?
I went to buy stuff at the salesman, but he didn't sell anything. Oh yeah, and I think more importantly, in the Metroid Prime 3 thing, is the final planet was kind of an interesting choice that they decided to do, and they pulled it off very well. The final planet that the Leviathan Seed landed on during the events of Metroid Prime 3 was the Space Pirate homeworld. So they sent Gandrea there because she could shapeshift and infiltrate, right? Well, she didn't stay shapeshifted. Because as the game goes on, you realize that the corruption is a lot more invasive than you initially thought. So when you meet your fellow bounty hunters, they have completely lost their mind and all they want to do is kill you. You kind of get to see their downfall. Like Rundus shows up and doesn't really talk to you, just kills you. When you kill him, you beat him in combat, and then the shadow of Dark Samus comes up, absorbs him, and then leaves. And this pisses off Samus because she's firing at it. She's like, "Oh, I know this bastard. Kill it, right?"
I feel like I'm doing this by accident. About to go down a hole.
That, oh my god, what the hell? I was right about it being beast, but okay. Yeah, and every time you destroy a Leviathan Seed, something happens to Samus because she's exposed to so much Phazon through, like... Because every time... It's such a good way of, like, fusing your gameplay and the story.
Yeah.
Because they'll do, like, you'll go into the Leviathan Seed, and of course every boss gives you a power-up, right? This is just how video games work. Particularly Metroidvanias. So when you end up killing the Leviathan Seed Guardian...
Let me go down.
When you end up killing the first Leviathan Seed Guardian, which are, of course, the biggest things on the planet, I think... What's the one on Rio? I remember it's a huge golem on Elysia, which is the Chozo robot city, and then it's of course, it's the freaking space pirate homeworld. Who else would it be but Ridley again?
Yeah.
Even though she shot him 5 times in the mouth, he's still freaking alive somehow. Though you get a lot of scans saying that, like, they were trying to, like, heal him up.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the lore you learn on Space Pirate Homeworld is like how there was a faction war before the events of the game, where Dark Samus was like slowly corrupting a lot of the pirates.
Okay.
And they didn't like it so much, but they didn't really have a choice.
Yeah. You spell.
And then yeah, when you get to like beat one of the bosses, every time you see the gland inside of Samus's body. I don't remember if it looks like it's near her brain, but maybe not. Maybe near her heart. Maybe it's inside her heart actually. She like gets sick because the sudden increase in like phazon production, her PED can't like cope.
Okay.
So she like takes off the mask and like vomits the second or third time, if I recall correctly. And you see the gland grow, and then you get a new power up, which is like a new hyper mode power up every time. So like the first time it's like, oh cool, now you have hyper mode missiles, and oh cool, now you have more damage, or oh cool, no, it's missiles I think, and then it's now you can do hyper mode morph ball, and then at the end it's oh now you've got a hyper mode grapple whip. And then you get to phase, and the first thing that happens when you land on phase is she absorbs so much phazon that like her suit completely turns blue, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And the game's like, oh, you're now in permanent hyper mode. And you're like, that's pretty cool. I don't have a health bar anymore though. What happens? And the game's like, oh, if your corruption reaches maximum, you're dead. So then you're like, oh, cool, can I save? And you turn around and you look at your ship, and your ship's like, won't let you in. It can't identify you.
Oh.
Your ship's like, oh, DNA does not match. And he gets mad at you, which it does another time in the series at the end of Metroid Dread, where I don't know if you saw how Metroid, I know I played it, I don't know if you were watching during the stream, but when Metroid Dread ends, you end up fighting Raven's Beak, who you then realize was possessed, or he gets killed by the X-Pirate parasite, and as a response, Samus's body fully mutates into like a Metroid, so she fuses with the armor, and she looks really freaking cool. But her armor no longer works the same way her earlier armor looks, so it looks like it's part of her body, and it's like red and greenish, kind of like it looks like she's a humanoid Metroid. It's really sick. I feel the need to show you. No, I want this one. She looks like this.
Jesus.
And it shoots like ginormous laser beams. It's insane how cool it looks. And when she ends up getting to her ship and taking out the X-Parasite that consumed Ravenbeak,
Yeah.
it then does the same thing that the X-Parasite did. It realizes that you're about to get away in the SAX, except instead of mutating into like this amalgam, it turns into Kraid, which is one of the recurring bosses from the 2D games. We've never seen it in the 3D games, unfortunately. It was meant to show up in the first Metroid Prime, but they scrapped it. And he's just like this giant dinosaur-looking dude with like 3 eyes, but like it's like clearly half constructed because it's hurrying to try and kill you. And as it opens its mouth, Ravensbeak's face is inside the bed. It's grotesque as hell. So you kill it, and then you get in the ship, and the ship refuses to let you drive. Because your DNA doesn't match up, right? It's like, oh, we can't take off. Samus isn't here. You're just some random person trying to steal the ship. And then you turn around, and there's another X-Parasite there, and you're like, holy crap. Because it's the X-Parasite of course, the planet's about to explode, so like Samus is low-key panicking, also really pissed off because she's a Metroid now. Yeah, so like as
Yeah, because she just learned that she got Metroid DNA added to her.
No, in Fusion she knew. Right off the bat she knew. They told her. But she's like, oh, my Metroid DNA is like out of control, I'm gonna like have problems, whatever. And then as she's like, she turns around and this other Chozo X-Parasite, she knows it's an X-Parasite that consumed the Chozo that was possibly her DNA donor, I think, is the implication. He was like the scientist that was on the opposite side of Ravenbeak. You spend most of the game, I think, hoping he's alive, and then realizing he's dead. And then when you see this X-Parasite, or when you find him, it gets eaten. I don't quite remember, but this X-Parasite's there, just standing there, and Samus like points her gun at it, and the X-Parasite like feeds itself to her in order for her to somehow control the Metroid DNA. So her armor goes back to normal and she can pilot the ship again. And it's like the second time that you get the feeling that like maybe the X-Parasites, if they consume enough or they consume certain type of people with X willpower, X like mentalities, they might be able to maintain like more than just this need to propagate.
Yeah.
But I think it's a little bit of a risky proposition to let that happen anyway, because they consume people and then they just become really. Oh, it consume more, yay. That's the kitchen we went through the first time?
Yeah, but I turned off the water.
So yeah, the storytelling in the Metroid games are really good, until you get to like Prime 4, and I'm like, that storytelling is really just, I like some of the characters, but I don't think that they did really good on I think they did really bad on the final boss. I think Silex shows up at the beginning, does a thing, you're like, ooh, you don't even have to fight with him at the beginning. You fight him a first time inside, I think it's the Volt Forge. Turns out it was just a robot that was like using his power, his suit or whatever, and it goes back to normal. So it's like, oh, it's a clone, haha. And he fights almost exactly like Dark Samus does.
Stop looking for gold.
He fights almost exactly like Dark Samus does in Prime 2.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that kind of sucks. And then you fight him again later, and he fights almost exactly the same as he did the first time, but this time he's got like environmental hazards.
Yeah.
So like, okay, so it's just like, it's the same kind of escalation mentality, right? And then you get to the final boss fight where he fights completely different. I was like, oh, this is kind of one of the coolest boss fights in the game. Except you have allies, and he has these large AoE attacks, and if your allies die, it's game over. So like, he does this like, he'll do this thing where he'll cover like 75% of the arena in lightning strikes, and he'll do it 2 times in a row. And my allies, I guess it's a DPS check, amongst other things, but my allies had already taken too much damage that 3 of them were down after the first strike, and because he hit them, and he spawned the AoEs again, I managed to get one of them up before he struck again, and he killed the other 2. And the game was like, oh, game over. I was like, I gotta restart the fight? And then for like the last 2/3, you're fighting him 1v1 again, and he does this thing that no other Metroid boss has done at all, I think, which is he ejects your energy tanks if he hits you with a certain attack. I was like, that's rude. You just took a whole HP bar off of me. Get out of here. But other than that, it's just another Silex fight, just like it was just a Dark Samus fight prior. And I was like, well, there's no really interesting mechanic.
This is how we've been healing after
The sack is filled. I was
yeah,
like,
because I just filled the sack and it's all gone now.
I was like, this is kind of a bummer of a boss fight with like such a ruined orgasm of a finale for his storyline. I was like, really? And I don't think he's dead. I think he survived, because no matter what you do during that boss fight, by the way, which frustrating, that boss fight, you die if your allies die. Well, when you get to the end, you leave them behind anyway. So really cool. I understand it's a Metroid game and we gotta kill our allies at the end anyway, but
What if like they find their own way out?
maybe. But the implications are very dire. And Metroid isn't really.
Yeah, but they tried to fake you out with deaths for nearly everybody.
They did figure out with deaths with nearly everybody. Everybody survived,
Yeah,
actually.
except for the science guy.
No. Oh, you're right. He wasn't. He
thought
wasn't in
he
the
had
mines.
Death fake out, but I was like, you probably stay behind the base. I remember you leaving and him being like, oh, I'm gonna stay here.
And he was like, oh, sorry, I wasn't there.
He's an engineer, so he's not really. He says he's not really combat. Sorry, but I just spent a lot of time exploring.
Yeah.
And going through all that stuff. There's even a section where I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. Looks like I'm supposed to climb up.
500 gold. Sure. Wow. Bye.
I should have said no and asked for the secret.
That was cheap as hell. Holy cow. Oh my god, all that. Wait on that still.
Bush
Are you
baby.
tired? Do you want me to heal you for 500 gold? Why is everyone extorting us?
Sure.
No way.
I'm gonna go no. Do you want me to tell you the secrets about this castle? Yes.
Oh my god.
Goat.
Goat? What?
What? Fuck you!
Wow. Remember that kid that extorted us for like all our gold?
Oh my god, yeah, he went for exactly what we had. But we still have a lot. Yeah,
There was
Pyrus
nowhere near.
got us stuck, and I was
Got
like,
us stuck. I went for a treasure chest. Sorry.
got stuck.
Did what the game wanted me to do.
And then we lost exactly how much money we had.
Because the little kid was an extortionist.
I was like, earn that money back!
Well, we got much more than that now.
Oh yeah. Guaranteed, if we saw that kid, he'd be like, wow. We should really sell our lenses. Like, quite a bit.
What are we doing?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where the next objective is. I know there was a room that I found that had somewhere to go.
Did you go down there?
Yeah, I did. Explored everywhere. Yeah, this way. The room's that way. Was there other paths you didn't explore going up here?
I only went right. I told you.
Goats. What's the secret? I mean, there was a bush baby there. Don't know what bush baby is. Rudy, get off the ground!
I must find the bunny.
She didn't even find the keys. Apparently they wait. Okay, well, if that's the case, I'm gonna leave this space.
I think so.
You said you...
What?
I asked if you explored...
There's nothing to explore at the exit. That doesn't count in
I didn't know
exploring.
it was exit! I asked if there was anywhere leading up to this area. Did you explore?
Well, yeah, we did the boat walk, the water section.
Yeah. I was talking about the castle. I didn't realize you were at the entrance of the castle. Despite the fact that I was here for it.
That's the only one right. I don't know how much you might have thought you missed.
Well, I said before you entered the area. So that's why I was like, well, what do you mean?
What do you mean by the area? I think is the confusion here.
The space that we were
Someone
in.
got a new skill. I think it's me.
Like this space here.
But there's nothing to explore here before anyway.
I didn't know that.
I told you I only went right. Special, not spell. Barrage. I guess Beast Blade. But I thought Philly got a new spell. Thunderblade?
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I had... Yeah, so, I was meaning... Before entering into the cave,
I understand what you
wasn't-
were meaning. No, I don't understand what you were meaning.
So I thought this was another section of the castle that we hadn't explored yet. This was not the first section of the castle. I thought this was a new
No,
section.
it's the first section, so I told you I only went right. I literally only went right, so
Why is the water on?
you left the zone.
Right. Whatever.
Does that not look, Can we go up there? I don't know.
I think that's the bridge.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Is that relevant? At least we'll be of a good level for the boss fight, I guess. Me and getting lost in these games, man.
Yeah, we've been lost in this game a lot.
I get lost in a lot of these old RPGs and I'm like, oh no, what am I gonna do? And then I level up another new spell. God dang it.
Right? It's like insane.
Rudy,
now.
relax. She's like, no. What is that? Icicle? Okay. What is the name of her sword? Atwite?
Yeah.
Atwite. Atwite's like, give me all the money. Give me all the money. You went down to fill it out.
Status, right?
For Atwite level? I don't see a level for Atwite there. I think it's in the equipment section really soon. No, definitely not items. You get the same information you get from the equipment. So. Check special again? Status. Sorry. Oh, can you go down? Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, we don't want to level up anymore. Oh no, they level up again.
Yeah, 28. Ability 6, session 57. Wow, 10,000
Yeah.
She'll let it level up. Rudy will level up before her sword.
Yeah. I mean, they were lower level than them initially.
True. Okay, so I feel like it has to do with that room that I found, but like it wasn't letting me go down.
Like the hole?
Yeah.
Goat. Oh, that's it. Nice. Oh. Do you want to try out a new spell? Force. Water to the
This
right.
way. So I did this. And then over here.
I guess that's stairs.
No, the ladder went to a room and you go the other way.
No one is trying to save point soon. Oh! Yeah, but maybe another one if we can find one further, because it's 12:40? Yeah, next save point we stumble onto it. If we really need to, we can go back down. What happens if you interact with that? You go down there.
Yeah, that led to a treasure chest.
Bunch of food just here.
All of the treasure chests that I haven't picked up are life bottles and gels.
How will we know where we went? The dragon is yeah. That look like there's a gargoyle over there.
Yeah.
Kaboom. Ah, funny number.
Cute. But the...
Try to interact with the bed.
No, but I just interacted with that.
Yeah.
Dog, sorry.
Gold.
So there's nowhere but this, so can I jump?
There's no side rooms?
No, here. Check, those are windows.
falling, Rudy. I need healing. Thank you. Ah, it's the snails! The snails always like to zap him. Okay, well, make sure to check around the room again, I guess. Maybe we missed something. You sure those are rooms? Strange. What about the bonsai tree? Oh, good. Try running. Hold the X button. Oh. We have to try again. I feel like that's something we might be able to do, but I'm not sure. Oh, you're back on that?
I'm sorry.
Wait, that came out of nowhere.
I was just thinking about it. I was like, because we were talking about the jumping, and like I worked really hard to get the prawn suit out of the containment unit because I stupidly brought it down, and like I had to like be jumping with the power, like use the power jump and grab the grapple, so that way I would just like. See, it looks like you could go down.
Yeah. Try pressing down. No, just straight down. You can't interact with it at all. Bruh.
I'm like, this is the only thing that we haven't done, and I'm like, I feel like we have to
Can
get
you
down.
pull the bonsai? Maybe? Push the bonsai down. Knock out the card? I don't know. See where that landed, I guess.
Yeah, but the guard, like, there's nothing to do about it.
No, well, at least we wouldn't have to pay for him, I guess. But I don't think that's it. I think it's an actual puzzle that we can solve.
Yeah, because he said there was secrets to the castle.
He said go.
But what if that room is in the
I don't know. Sounds a little too much. Yeah.
Thank you for figuring that out.
Scam artist. Being a guard doesn't pay, apparently.
Is Light on in charge? Probably not.
Where did the bonsai land? I'm not seeing how it works. Thank you for the follow, Juliana Henry. Juliana Henry. Kaboom! Didn't do anything. Didn't do any damage to the Kraken for the record. Krakens are stuck to the ground, apparently. Well, now that I got an email for it, it would be more suspicious of me.
You get emails for every follow.
No, I don't.
I get emails.
I get emails for follows that don't even show up on here.
I get emails for every follow. Every time somebody follows, I get an email. Oh, you have a new Twitch follower.
Nope, I only get emails for the follows that are suspicious. Yeah, if we don't find where the bonsai landed, we'll save. Boom! Benny was dead. It's only double up, guys. That's what it is. No bonsai this place. I don't know.
I can pick up one other one.
I think it would have been somewhere earlier somewhere else.
Yeah, it would be on the right hand side.
I thought it'd be somewhere nearer to where we pushed it down.
But yeah, but what I'm saying is that it's the room was on the right hand side.
I don't think their map design really pays attention to where things are supposed to be that way, if I'm being honest. No bonsai here. Not in the kitchen. It's also like, where would it be useful?
Yeah.
That. How'd you turn the water off?
I turned off the water upstairs.
Not
Remember,
the same
I
water?
left the place. But yeah, that makes sense.
It has the same icon, so one would think that's where it would land, right? Press Whoa, the mount's healing it, what the hell? Ice honey.
It's a little previous one.
Wait,
Oh, sorry.
did it land here? You'd think it would, though. That's that icon.
Yeah.
So something's going on. Anyway, save our game, I guess. We might have to push it back down. Ah!
Do we have enough time for me to go turn off the water?
No, it's just. We'll just. We're gonna work on a video stream. Alright, that's going to be it for today. Hope you folks enjoyed Tales of Destiny. It makes a rare appearance every week on our stream. We'll be back with this supposedly next Tuesday. We'll see how both of us are feeling. I'm supposed to be back tomorrow morning with Honkai. Unfortunately, it will not be the morning. I check my schedule. Something I should do more often than I do. No, I'm not sure about that statement. Anyway. Changes have made it so that I will be working tomorrow at a floating shift, which is a noon-ish shift, and so therefore I can't stream tomorrow until tomorrow evening. So Honkai Star Rail tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and no earlier. And that's going to be it. Thank you to everyone who came by. Peace out.